Bolivia is a landlocked country located in the west-central South America. It is positioned in the western and southern hemispheres of the Earth. Bolivia is bordered by 5 countries: by Brazil to the north and east, by Paraguay to the southeast, by Argentina to the south, by Chile to the southwest, and by Peru to the northwest. Bolivia is a landlocked nation covering an area of 424,164 square miles. Bolivia is the 5th largest country in South America and the largest landlocked country in the southern hemisphere. The country's western half is covered by the Andes, as 3 meandering high mountain chains dominate the landscape. The Cordillera Occidental in the west is a long line of mostly bleak, dormant volcanoes. The Cordillera Central stands in the middle, while the eastern Cordillera Oriental, is a massive snow-capped series of stunning granite mountains. The Altiplano, a high plateau, is sandwiched between the Cordilleras, which is a high chain of mountains. There exist deep valleys or rifts between the 3 mountain ranges. Over a long period of time, it has accumulated with rock debris washed down from the surrounding peaks. The eastern slopes of the Cordillera Oriental descend gently into the rolling hills. Numerous rivers flow eastward here, forming long valleys. The highest point in Bolivia is Nevado Sahama at 21,463 feet, or 6,542 meters, while the lowest point is Paraguay River at 230 feet, or 70 meters. Northeast of La Paz, the landscape descends into the semi-fertile tropical valleys, drained by narrow rivers. The southeast is covered by semi-arid plains that turn swampy during heavy rains. Bolivia's Altiplano contains several salt flats, the dried remnant of ancient lakes. Uyuni Salt Pan, Salade Uyuni, is the largest one, covering almost 3,500 square miles. Bolivia's most important lake is Lake Titicaca, located in the western part of the country along the border with Peru. Deep and cold, Lake Titicaca is about 3,810 meters above sea level, being the highest lake in South America. It is the highest commercially navigable body of water in the world. Salty Lake Popo is the largest inland lake, varying greatly in size based on rainfall. Most of Bolivia's significant rivers, or rios, are located central and north. Countrywide, important ones include the Benin, Desaguadero, Guapo, Madre de Dios, and Mamo. Bolivia, officially the plural nation of Bolivia, is administratively divided into 9 departments, or departamentos. In alphabetical order, these departments are: the departments are divided into a total of 112 provinces, which are further subdivided into 339 municipalities and 1,374 cantons, covering an area of 1,098,581 square kilometers. Bolivia is the world's 28th largest country and the 5th largest country in South America. It is also the 7th largest landlocked nation in the world and the largest landlocked nation in Southern Hemisphere. Located in the south-central part of the nation, at an elevation of 9,214 feet, is Sucre, the constitutional and judicial capital of Bolivia. Located in the west-central part of the nation, in the southeast of Lake Titicaca, at an elevation of 11,975 feet, is La Paz, the executive and legislative administrative capital of Bolivia. It is the 3rd most populous city of the country and the highest national capital in the world. Situated in the east-central part of the nation, in the tropical lowlands, is Santa Cruz de la Sierra, the largest and the most populous city of Bolivia. It is the chief commercial, industrial, and economic center of the country. Area total 1,098,581 square kilometers. Land 1,093,301 square kilometers. Water 15,280 square kilometers. The country ranks 29 in the world. History: Bolivia was part of the Incan Empire from the 13th century until the Spanish conquered it in 1500s. The Spanish discovered large amounts of silver in the area, and that became the primary focus of the colony. Simon Bolivar liberated Bolivia in 1825, being the last Spanish possession in South America to achieve independence. Bolivia was on the losing side of a number of wars over the years with its neighbors. Each war resulted in Bolivia losing territory to its neighbors. From 1962 until 1984, Bolivia was ruled by the military. Bolivia, named after the independent fighter Simon Bolivar, broke away from Spanish rule in 1825. Much of its subsequent history has consisted of a series of coups and counter-coups, with the last coup occurring in 1978. Democratic civilian rule was established in 1982, but the leaders have faced problems of deep-seated poverty, social unrest, and illegal drug production. In December 2005, Bolivians elected movement towards socialism leader Evo Morales as president by the widest margin of any leader since the restoration of civilian rule in 1982, after he ran on a promise to change the country's traditional political class and empower the nation's poor and indigenous majority. In December 2009 and October 2014, President Morales easily won re-election. His party maintained control of the legislative branch of government, which has allowed him to continue his process of change. In February 2016, Morales narrowly lost a referendum to approve a constitutional amendment that would have allowed him to compete in the 2019 presidential election. However, a 2017 Supreme Court ruling stating that term limits violates human rights provided the justification for Morales to be chosen by his party to run again in 2019. Morales attempted to claim victory in the October 2019 election, but widespread allegations of election fraud, rising violence, and pressure from the military ultimately forced him to flee the country. An interim government led by President Jeanine Áñez Chávez prepared new elections that took place in October 2020. President Luis Alberto Arce Catacora took office the following month. Country's flag: 3 equal horizontal bands of red top, yellow and green with the coat of arms centered on the yellow band. Red stands for bravery and the blood of the national heroes, yellow for the nation's mineral resources, and green for the fertility of the land. Bolivia's flag is similar to the flag of Ghana, which has a large black 5-pointed stars centered in the yellow band. In 2009, a presidential decree made it mandatory for a so-called wifala, a square, multiple-colored flag representing the country's indigenous people, to be used alongside the traditional flag. Climate varies with altitude, humid and tropical to cold and semi-arid. Natural resources: lithium, tin, natural gas, petroleum, zinc, tungsten, antimony, silver, iron, lead, gold, timber, hydropower. Population distribution: a high altitude plain in the west between 2 cordilleras of the Andes, known as the Altiplano, is the focal area of most of the population. A dense settlement pattern is also found in and around the city of Santa Cruz, located on the eastern side of the Andes. Natural hazards: flooding in the northeast, March to April. Volcanic activities in the Andes Mountains on the border with Chile. Historically active volcanoes in the region are Irubutunku, 5,163 meters, which last erupted in 1995, and the Oca Paroma Volcanic Complex, 5,762 meters to 5,167 meters. People, community and culture. Population: 12,186,079, 2023 estimates. The country ranks 79 in the world by population size. Nationality: Bolivian. Ethnic groups: Mestizo, mixed white and Amerindian ancestry, 68%. Indigenous, 20%, white 5%, Cholo or Chola 2%, African descent 1%, others 1%, unspecified 3%. 2009 estimates. Languages: Spanish official 68.1%, Quechua official 17.2%, Aymara official 10.5%, Guarani official 0.6%, others 1.5%, unspecified 2.1%. Bolivia's 2009 constitution designates Spanish and all indigenous languages as official. 36 indigenous languages are specified, including a few that are now extinct. 2012 data. Religions: Roman Catholic 70%, Evangelical 14.5%, Adventist 2.5%, Church of Jesus Christ 1.2%, Agnostic 0.3%, Atheist 0.8%, Order 3.5%, None 6.6%, Unspecified 0.6%. 2018 estimates. Median age: total 25.3 years, male 24.5 years, female 26 years. 2020 estimates. The country ranks 160th in the world by median age. Urbanization: urban population 71.2% of total population. 2023 estimates. Mother's mean age at first birth 21.1 years. 2008 estimates. Data represent median age at first birth among women 25 to 49. Currently married women ages 15 to 49, 57.1%. 2023 estimates. Child marriage: women married by age 15, 3.4%. Women married by age 18, 19.7%. Men married by age 18, 5.2%, 2016 estimate. Literacy, people age 15 and over who can read and write. Total population, 92.5%, male, 96.5%, female, 88.6%, 2015 estimate. Youth unemployment rate, ages 15 to 24, total 17.4%, male 16.8%, female 18.4%, 2021 estimate. Environment current issues, the clearing of land for agricultural purposes and the international demand for tropical timber are contributing to deforestation, soil erosion from overgrazing and poor cultivation method, loss of biodiversity, industrial pollution of water supplies used for drinking and irrigation. Capital, etymology, La Paz is the shortening of the original name of the city, Nuestra Señora de la Paz, Our Lady of Peace. Sucre is named after Antonio José de Sucre, 1795 to 1830, military hero in the independence struggle from Spain, and he was the second president of Bolivia. Other major cities: Santa Cruz, Cochabamba, Oruro. National holiday: Independence Day, 6th August 1825. Economic overview: resource-rich economy, benefits during commodity booms, has bestowed judicial rights to Mother Earth, imparting extraction industries, increasing Chinese lithium mining trade relations. Hard hit by COVID-19. Real GDP, purchasing power parity, $97.266 billion, 2021 estimates. The country ranks 94th in the world by purchasing power parity. Real GDP growth rates, 6.11%. 2021 estimate. The country ranks 72nd in the world by real GDP growth rates. Real GDP per capita, $8,100. 2021 estimate. The country ranks 152nd in the world. Unemployment rates, 8.51%, 2021 estimates. The country ranks 140th in the world. Youth unemployment rate, age 15 to 24. Total, 17.4%, male, 16.8%, female, 18.4%, 2021 estimates. The country ranks 97th in the world. Exports, $11.439 billion, 2021 estimates. Export partners, Argentina 16%, Brazil 15%, United Arab Emirates 12%, India 10%, United States 6%, South Korea 5%, Peru 5%, Colombia 5%, 2019. Export commodities, gold, natural gas, zinc, soy products, tin, 2021. Bolivian cocaine production remains a significant illicit trade commodity. Imports, $10.799 billion, 2021 estimates. The country ranks 108th in the world. Import partners, Brazil 22%, Chile 15%, China 13%, Peru 11%, Argentina 8%, United States 7%, 2017. Import commodities, cars, refined petroleum, delivery trucks, iron, buses, 2019. Internet users, total 7.92 million, 2021 estimates. Percentage of population, 66%, 2021 estimates. The country ranks 75th in the world by number of internet users. Number of airports, total 3 as of 2022. Bolivia's airports are located in cities of La Paz, Cochabamba, and Santa Cruz. U.S.-Bolivia relations. Although Bolivia was indirectly colonized as part of Peru-Bolivian Confederation from 1837 to 1839, the United States officially recognized the Republic of Bolivia on May 30, 1848, when the Department of State appointed John Appleton as charge d'affaires. The American legation in La Paz opened on January 3rd under charge d'affaires John Appleton. Fascinating fact about Bolivia: Bolivia has the world's largest salt flats. The largest salt flat, Salar de Uyuni, is one of Bolivia's most popular destinations and among the world's most fascinating places. It is about 10,582 square kilometers, making it the world's largest salt flats. Hi, thanks for watching to the end. I hope this video has been informative and entertaining. If you like this video and you would like to see more contents like this, kindly like, share, leave a comment in the comment section, and also please subscribe to this channel if you have not already subscribed yet. Thanks for watching to the end. Have a nice day and look out for the next video.